No, I haven't had any complaints so far. I think the essence is keeping the cage sterile and clean, so that there's no bad smells or bad behavior or anything like that. So far terrific.
How did these kittens find themselves here in your home?
Well, it all started off with they were all living under the building of the Howard College complex at University of Natal, and they started a construction of a new library which would take up the whole area of the courtyards where these cats were living. You know, that's where they all were. So I was told that they had to go. And after trying all avenues, there was nothing else to do but to bring them home and construct this cage. And as a temporary measure, in hope that eventually I will be able to get them relocated to a bigger place where they'd be more free to roam.
Now, apart from the fact that a library was being built at the university, were there any other issues why the cats had to be moved out of the campus?
Not the Howard College cats, but you know, these cats have all been sterilized. You know, when I started working there, they were there, and of course you have to sterilize because they breed. So the sterilization stops all the behavioral problems that you have with fighting and spraying. You know, they mark their territories, and of course in a building it's not very hygienic and it's not very pleasant with all the smells that come from that. So the sterilization worked very well, and they were, you know, it relaxes them, and there was no problems with them living under the building.
Who sterilized them?
I did, with the help of Doug Farrell Thorpe. He came and helped me catch them, and then we took them to the vet and then sterilized them and returned them back to the environment there.
So actually getting them sterilized was your complete initiative?
Yes, yes. And then of course feeding them a supplementary to maintain a healthy cat population there. The other thing too was that we had them inoculated against rabies and all the cat diseases, and also dewormed. So they were very healthy. And
it's obvious that you have this love for cats.
Yes, I do.
Why?
No, I don't really know where it all started, but I've always had cats, and it just sort of happened.
But there's a big difference between liking cats and then bringing home 8 from the university, constructing this cage. It's expensive. There's a big difference between liking them and going to such an effort.
Well, there was a need for it, and I think over the years, you know, you form a bond with them, and you know, I don't know, you just grow to love them, and I just couldn't bear the thought of them all getting put to sleep, you know, so one had to find an alternative.
I just want to backtrack a little bit. You spoke about the sterilization process and the fact that the cats were at the university. I'm assuming that before the library was being constructed, you saw the cats, you got them sterilized, you saw to their needs. How did people at the university react to this?
Well, I think it was mainly the Howard College building, and they weren't very happy initially, and I sort of laid myself open to all forms of abuse and ridicule. You know, one comment was even that did I think I was Jane Goodall with the cats, as opposed to, you know, Jane Goodall with the gorillas. And oh, it's all, you know. What can you do? It wasn't going to deter me. I felt the need, and I felt that I was doing something good, you know.
What were some of the main issues that people at the university had with the cats?
Well, you know, are you just talking about the Howard College? Because feral cats is a problem throughout the campus. And obviously with a huge big area like that where there's lots of buildings, there's lots of food available in the form of scraps. We've got vending machines, cafeterias, residences, so there's always food around. So this is sort of ideal situation for these cats to survive. And the University Environmental Committee was dealing with the problem by eradicating them. And, you know, as international research has shown, this doesn't work, because within a short while, other cats have moved in.
By eradicating, what do you mean?
Killing them, just wiping them out.
On the
killing them.
campus?
Yes.
Or?
Yes.
What method was used?
They had an arrangement with the SPCA who would come in, trap and kill them, and then take them away.
How many cats would you say were killed in this way?
I'm really not sure. There must have been quite a few.
Hundreds?
Maybe not as much as hundreds. It's difficult to say because I don't think any particular records were kept. They used to just come in. And the university used to make a donation to the SPCA in return for them coming in and eradicating all the cats. A few of us concerned people there, we consulted with Kitten Action, Animal Action, and we had a meeting with the Executive Committee, the Environmental Committee, and also our Pietermaritzburg campus they have got a successful program running. Our problem is that we're an environmental protected zone. So all the people on the executive committee decided, it was their ideas that cats are aliens and they shouldn't be there. And it worried me a bit because in actual fact all these people don't like cats. So I thought they were being a bit biased. That was my point of view. So
do you think if it was dogs, they would perhaps have been happier?
Well, I really don't know. I can't answer that one. But they are ardent dog lovers, all of them. We held this meeting to try and stop this killing, and with the aid of all these people, the Kitten Action and the Animal Action and the SPCA and all the other people with expertise in this field, we managed to convince the Executive Committee and the Environmental Committee to give us a chance. Because the killing method just wasn't working. The other cats moved in so quickly. So we did this, and we enlisted the help of Jean Jacobs of Animal Action. And what we did is that we went out, and for 2 weeks you feed the cats, draw them out. This way you assess the numbers, and obviously the health as well. And you start this, and you draw them out, and then Jean would come in and trap. But that's not the end of the story, because then afterwards you've got to maintain their health. You've got to keep a control on them. I do a walkabout every single day, just with feeding them. It's a supplementary feeding. It's not full feeding. This way it enables me to just keep a control on how many are there, what's their health, and if any newcomers come in, I can obviously see it straight away and we can do something about it.
What do you mean by supplementary feeding?
We just put down little bowls of foods here and there so that they are healthy. The university, there's so many places where they can feed, and cats are very, very territorial and on their own little spaces. So the sterilization program has actually worked. There's no more rummaging through all the litters, the litter places, because it was a problem. They are not going into the buildings anymore and spraying, because the buildings also have refuse areas where they go in there, and they were also looking for food. So now that they've got their feeding areas and they're quite content. Another concern was also the bird life, because we have some exotic birds there, and our environmental committee was concerned for the safety of the birds.
Can you just describe in detail, when sterilization, when the process is performed, what behavioral changes or differences are there with cats?
Well, the cats don't fight anymore, because they have some terrible fights. They don't fight. They're not marking their territory anymore, and they become far more placid, and they're quite happy to keep in their own little territories, and they're there, but they're not causing any more problems.
Is sterilization considered humane?
Yes. Well, in this case, yes, because I'm not sure of the figures, but I think one cat can produce up to 75 kittens. So if it's not controlled, you can see how it's going to, and then there's the shortage of food, the fighting, and you get a lot of unhealthy cats as well. But I'm happy to say that I think we've achieved what we set out to achieve. We've got a whole community of healthy cats, all disease-free. They're not causing problems anymore. They're not going into the buildings anymore. And I think it's worked. I'm really happy with it.
Can I just cut there?
And actually,
Before you brought the cats home, I mean, there were, I'm sure, structural and logistical issues. For example, did you have a cage or did you have to have it built?
No, I didn't have anything. And in desperation, this cage was born. I was very fortunate to be introduced to David Church-Weldon, and he's also a cat person, and he owns his own construction company, and he very kindly came to my rescue. He came here and he looked at the area and he designed and constructed this cage within a week.
It's pretty, it would have cost quite a packet, I would say.
Yes, it did cost a bit of money, but...
and you've obviously funded this yourself.
Yes, I did.
It's also quite interesting because it seems to be a little bit of an obstacle course in here. How exactly or what thoughts went into the design process of the cage?
Well, the whole idea behind it was to keep them occupied. You know, cats get very bored very quickly. They're always very inquisitive. So it was designed so that the little ramps there so they can run around, different shelves or different levels all the way around. So they've got plenty of places to go and hide. And I'm really thrilled to see that they are starting to play, which means that they've settled in and they're quite comfortable being here.
You live in a complex. How have your neighbours reacted to the cage and the cats being here?
I haven't had any reaction or adverse reaction. I have spoken with our body corporate, and I have spoken with the health authorities, and they said the main concern would be the health aspect of it. So it's very necessary to keep it clean, obviously, and to disinfect it, and which I do.
How often?
Well, 5 o'clock in the morning I'm here cleaning out all the sand trays, and obviously they get fed, and then you know, just spray around all the areas and disinfect all the areas. Those sand trays are changed every day. They're washed out and then fresh sand put in. So it does entail quite a lot of work, and then the same thing happens when I get home at night. You know, the cleaning out of the sand trays and just generally keeping it germ-free and tidy.
Roughly speaking, what does it cost you per month to take care of the cats, including food and...
Are you talking about just these ones?
These ones.
Or these? It would be about 300 Rand a month, you know.
And in total, if you look at all the other cats that you also take care?
Well, we're looking at about 800-900 Rand a month to supplement their food there. And you know, that part of it, although the university has funded the sterilisation, the costs, I have to try and raise funds at the university with our community, beg and plead for them to help with donations to keep the feeding program going, because if we don't, then our whole mission would have failed.
And is it just cat people that support?
Well, yes, there are a few, I'm pleased to say, apart from the ones that that don't like cats at all, there are a few that do care, and they have been very generous in supporting me. You know, you have to be very committed to this, and it is a lot of hard work, but you know, at the end of the day, it's worth it. It really is.
Why?
Oh, well, because they are all safe now, and they're well fed, and they're not diseased. And at least they've got a nice place to live.
Okay, just say that.
Say it to me.
Yes.
Oh, now where do we start from?
Why are you so committed?
Forgot what I said.
Doesn't matter.
Well, I am so committed because I feel that I'm doing something worthwhile. These cats are really beautiful, and I know now that the university cats are safe, and they're healthy, and also these little cats here, now they've got a little home. It is a temporary home, because at the end of the day I would like to relocate them to a bigger place where they have more freedom.
Are you talking about, outside of the cage, in another area? In other words, will they go back to what they were doing originally?
Well, we're looking at a large property where they can walk around in, not in a cage, where they will be restricted, but they'll have a bigger area to move around.
So does that entail you moving with them?
Well, no, not really. I'm just hoping that one day I will find something for them, for them to settle in and although they appear to be very happy here and they're settled in, but I don't think it's ideal at the end of the day.
How many cats are in here and two are there?
Okay. You don't want to do that in the cage?
No, let's go inside.
Debbie, if you can just ask, thank you. Okay, Deb?
Just ask a question.
Yeah, any question.
800 rand is a lot of money per month.
Yes, it is. It is, but to me it's money well spent. And as I say, with
and if that particular 800 rand that you were talking about, people contribute maybe 100 rand.
Yeah, well, no, 5 rand.
So, okay.
So it's an ongoing thing, and I have actually sent out emails to everybody that you get a good response.
What about students? I mean, did you try and get students involved?
We did, and I've got no money, I'm a student, and I really have tried also to get someone to help me with the feeding, because it's an everyday thing.
Thank you. Okay, and Ollie.
Okay, how did the cats find themselves here in your home?
How did the cats find?
And the mother's here as well. So the mother and kittens. So you don't want to sit. But in separation, I've found a place for them. People are very nervous of feral cats.
What was the question you wanted me
Could
to?
it be considered cruel?
Okay.
Maybe viewers will think.
Okay.
How do I answer
It's
that?
inside, unfortunately.
Okay.
Okay, stand by and rolling.
Could this cage be considered cruel?
I really don't think so, because they're a lot safer here than they were living under the buildings. There was always rowdy students going around. People, obviously there were students that didn't like cats and used to throw things at them and things like that. They don't have that stress anymore. They're completely relaxed here. They don't cry, so this is a safe haven for them, and I don't think it's cruel, but under the circumstances I had no option. But it's worked out that they're far better off here living in this cage than they were at the university.
Why did you not even consider releasing them somewhere else, in some other natural environment?
Well, for lack of them. I really did try. I looked all over, I phoned everybody, and nobody could give me an alternative.
Can you take feral cats and just let them off into the wild anyway?
I don't think that's such a good idea, because there are feral cats everywhere and they protect their territory fiercely. And so I don't know that they would survive. Cats are very community conscious. They've all got their little communities all over the place, and they protect their little areas. Their food supply and the female cats, and they're very, very rigid with that. They don't tolerate any other cats present. So if you put strange cats in, it wouldn't be long before they would be probably chased away, and who knows what would happen to them then.
This cat is the mother of that.
Well, I can see your reflection in the TV, George. Come towards me.
That cat is the mother. The one in the one's also there's 3 generations. The cat and
It's a porcelain cat. No, that. It really is. Where it's sitting there.
Can it wobble? There. So it's not a cat. So. That's my son. He's just come back from all over. He's also cat mad, and he's
maybe
actually just run out of cat food. I've got to go and buy today, so I haven't really got. But I don't know if you want to. My kitchen's so untidy.
people won't see.
Shall I go and get the nibbles?
Okay.
Okay, right, stand by and action. You can carry on. On cue.
She's saying, what is this? This is just not real. Okay, do the bowl, washing up the bowl first? Sorry,
Water, are you going to put the water in there?
Hang on a minute, let me just take all this other stuff. Do you want me to put more water in?
Yes, yeah. Rat. See what?
Put one there, see if it comes.
Come on. Come on. Come on.
Looks like he's considering it.
Come, Ginge. There he is. Oh, hello, Ginge.
Sure.
He's lovely, he's a nice boy.
Come on. Come to me. Come on. Come on.
And he disappeared quickly.
He's hiding behind the tree there, but he's very Did you actually get a shot of him coming out there?
Just a bit, very
Oh,
quickly.
no. Now he's okay, he's out.
Can if you call them?
Come on. Come on, boys. Come on.
Here comes Felix again.
Hello. Hello, boy. Come on. Come on, Cubby. Come on. Hello. Felix. Tommy. Come on. Come on, little boy. Oh. Yeah.
Let's pick them up.